Hey everyone! I want to talk to you today about informed consent and decision making. Doesn't that sound like a fun topic? Now, I wanted to talk to you about this topic today because it is so important. So stay engaged, drop me a comment. I just want to make sure that you're here and you're listening and you're not missing out on anything, because informed consent can make or break your whole birth experience. So, do you guys have a provider yet? And if so, do you know if your provider knows you and knows what you want out of your birth experience? Do you feel like he or she really understands you and your birth wishes, and even has some similar beliefs as you with the birth process? Or maybe you haven't chosen a provider yet and you're still kind of unsure of how to choose. Either way, just stick around towards the end, because I'm going to give you a free download to take to your appointment of 15 questions you must ask your provider. So first, let me take you through a scenario. Okay, so your friend, she tells you about this super awesome doctor. She's had him before, and he's so personable. He listens. He seems to really be on board with your plan. Now, you're planning to birth vaginally, and you may or may not get an epidural. You'll just see how it goes. This is your first pregnancy, and you're not really sure what to expect, but you do know that you want to trust your body as much as you can. And if anything goes wrong, you're going to trust your doctor to take care of you and your baby. So you get to about 38 weeks and things have gone great. He walks in, suggests that you get an ultrasound to just check on baby today. I mean, of course, you would love to see your baby. You get the ultrasound, and after your doctor then walks in and tells you that your fluid is low, and you're like, oh my gosh, this can't be good. Your doctor says it's low and he thinks it's best to take the baby by C-section. He'll let the receptionist know and you can schedule for the morning. You're like, wait, what? Like, how is this happening? This wasn't your plan. You wanted to experience labor. You wanted to birth vaginally. You don't want to have a C-section, but you reluctantly schedule. Now, after surgery, you feel like you missed out on something, and you just want to know why. Why do you feel like this? Your baby is healthy. You should be so happy and euphoric, but why don't you feel like it? Now, this is a feeling you get when decisions were made for you instead of you having informed consent and you making the final decision. So have you felt that before? I know I did. And I've spoken to so many women who have experienced the same thing, the same feeling of disappointment. But why? Well, in this scenario that I just took you through, there was no informed consent. Did you see that? Now, let me point them out to you. So number one, why did you need an ultrasound at 38 weeks? What were they wanting to look for specifically? He also didn't ask your permission to do one. He just said you were going to. So what did it mean that your fluid was low? What was the specific measurement? And what's the normal range? Was there any alternatives to having a C-section? What was the benefit of delivering early? And did he ask if scheduling a C-section was okay with you? Did he go over the risks of having a C-section? What are the risks and benefits of delivering at 38 weeks? Did he tell you about placenta accreta in future pregnancies or the increase of maternal complications post-surgery? There was so much missing information. It's impossible to make an informed decision for you and your baby unless you have all of that information. So do you know, or do you think that maybe you would have, if you would have asked these questions, you would have felt better about the C-section? Now, why is that? Maybe because you would have been the one making the final decision, not your provider. Now, did you know that no matter the outcome of your birth, you can feel empowered? The feeling of being proud of your birth comes when you are fully informed and have a provider who listens to what you desire. How do you find a provider that is on the same page? How do you avoid choosing someone that may or may not be on the same page but agrees with you in the beginning? And sometimes I'm just going to tell it to you straight. You don't know that until later. Sometimes you don't know until later that your provider is not on the same page. And I just want to remind you that this is a good time to think about how much birth matters. And if your provider seems to be suggesting things that don't go along with your beliefs about birth, then you can find another one. It's never too late to switch providers until after baby is born. So there's a helpful acronym when it comes to decision making during pregnancy, labor, and delivery. It's BRAIN, BRAIN. B stands for benefits. What is the benefit of having this intervention? R, risks. What are the risks of having this intervention? A, what are the alternatives? So is there anything else we can try before this intervention? I, what is your intuition saying? Listen to that. It is so powerful. And N, what if you do nothing? Do you think you would have felt better about the scenario if you would have used this tool? Now, these questions help gather informed consent. If your provider isn't willing to go through each of these questions with you when talking about an intervention, that's a huge red flag. Well, education and informed consent is key to getting a blissful birth. Now, I've been with moms who have wanted a natural birth and then decided during labor that they wanted an epidural, but guess what? They still felt empowered. They knew the risks. They knew the benefits. They knew the alternatives. They didn't feel manipulated or coerced into getting an epidural. They were the ones to make the decision. And you know what? That's great. It's my mission to help you feel empowered about your birth experience, and that no matter what happens, you call the shots. So is this helpful? Are you ready for those questions to ask your provider? Now, you need to know if they are on the same page as you. Know what you want from your birth. So ask these questions and then see if your provider has the same or similar answers to you, because who you hire to attend your birth, it matters. So did you have informed consent during your birth? How did having it or not having it affect you? And the more we talk about this, the more women will start demanding informed consent. So are you ready for your 15 questions to ask? Okay, go to bit.ly/15 provider questions. I'll send you the download straight to your email so you can have it handy for your next prenatal appointment. Remember, you are strong. Your body was made to birth. The contractions aren't stronger than you because they are you. So speak life over yourself, over your baby, and over your birth experience because it matters.